All right, I'm about to go down this, what do you call this? This hole. I'm watching some Malcolm X stuff right now on the Nation of Islam, and it's just amazing how these, anyways, man. Look, like I said, man, if you, anyways, let's keep this video on Wilder and where I'm at. You know, my algorithms, I be seeing these titles and these algorithms be getting me stuck. Anyhow, I had a chance to debrief for a second, and I had dinner with the family, took a shower, changed my shirt, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to reiterate what I've been teaching y'all for years. Eddie Hearn did a great job. When I say, not even great, masterful, top shelf job at rebuilding Anthony Joshua's career. You can say what you want. You can say, hey, I'm not dealing with emotions. I'm just going to deal with the facts right now. Meanwhile, Wilder was on the shelf, fought once a year, fighting against Father Time. And Inactivity destroyed his inactivity and fury, took a lot out of his career. You can use the term destroy. You can say whatever you want. Every PBC fighter, you can say Al Haymon paid me my biggest payday ever. But you're only fighting once a year. You're not getting paid your career the most. And that's what fighters don't understand, the compound interest, because they don't understand business. I understand business. I'd rather fight 4 times a year for 1.5 million than fight once a year for 3 million. That's what they don't understand. And the compound interest. Let's say you have a fight in Vegas, you have a fight in New York, you have a fight in Miami, you have a fight somewhere else. Those are 4 major markets that you're missing, but you're only fighting in Vegas and LA. You don't have Barclay no more. And I said all this to say, if it wasn't for Eddie Hearn, only God knows where Wilder's career would be. Did Al Haymon give up on him? I say he did. Al Haymon gave up on Wilder. And I'm about to let the cat out the bag too. If Earl Spence don't rebuild his career, he go in there and fight dog after dog, his career gonna be over too. I'm just a common sense guy. And none of y'all are gonna believe it until it happens to you. That's all I'm gonna say. I say these things. It's the uncomfortable truth. Yet everything that I say has come to pass. You cannot defeat Father Time in sports. You can't beat Father Time in life. If you don't holler at that woman that you see crossing the street that give you that feeling, you may never see her again. That may be your wife, the mother of your kids. If you don't talk to that potential business partner at that meeting that you was invited to, you may not ever meet that person again. I use me as the example. I had a great friend, Dr. Reginald Sampson, and he invited me over for dinner when I lived in Whittier a few years back. And I was having dinner with some people from New Jersey that wrote Lauryn Hill's first album, right? They went to court, they did all that, and you guys can Google it, right? You guys can Google the story. I didn't get their contact information. I assumed I was going to see them again. Now I think about it once a year, twice a year. I wish I would have got that interview. You know what I mean? I wish I would have. I really wish I would have got that interview, man, because we sat and had dinner for hours on hours on hours and just never materialized, you know? And there's countless opportunities that I can say that I missed out on. And that's what these fighters, from Caleb Plant to the Russells to the Wilders to the Spences to Adrian Broner to J-Rock to Andy Ruiz to Jared Hurd. Yeah, Al Haymon paid you 10% more than what you were worth in 2016. But look where it got you. We're looking at Wilder. If Wilder had been active, I know because I have common sense. If you sit still, you gain weight. You idle. You know what I mean? You're idling. They say idle is a devil's playground. It's not just the devil. It's the bad habits that come in. The weight gain, the lustful thoughts, the gambling, the drinking, the weed smoking, the staying up late, staying out late, staying up late, disrespecting your family, you know, whether it's in silence or loud. And I'm standing here all by myself now. And now I genuinely believe when you look back at it, Wilder should have came back 4 months later. What, he fought a year after that Fury fight? Insane. Spence, it'll be a year in July. He's next. Errol Spence is next on the chopping block. I'm just saying it. It's not that I want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. Y'all know how much I have an endearing. It's not even like oh, Errol Spence is cool. No, there's a level of endearment, you know, like, and I'm gonna come off as a hater. I'm gonna come off as crazy. But I'm gonna tell you what I told a family member. I'm gonna tell you what I told my niece a year ago. I says, don't you ever show up to my dinner table in a halter top. She had a midriff shirt on. I said, don't you ever. That's not how we come to dinner. I don't want modern women sitting at my dinner table. I'm gonna take it a step further. I told a family member, I says, oh, I think I like women now. I says, God got a place in hell for you. So when y'all say about telling the truth, and I talk to my family the same way I talk to y'all online. That's like when the guy came up. Remember last 2 years ago when I just moved in and the guy came on and said, Fred, you gained weight. I did, because I was eating out every day. I was moving. I didn't have a kitchen. Wasn't working out. Man, when you got like millions of dollars in the air, I don't mean like in the air, but you got millions of dollars over here. I got millions of dollars in the house, in the home that I live in now. I'm buying another property to offset the mortgage for this. I had millions of dollars just everywhere. And I had about 19 days. Where we had to stay at Dre's parents' house. And I had a movie coming out. And so I was eating out and doing, and you know what I told that guy? You know what I told my audience? I didn't argue with him. You know what I told Kyle from the boxing section? Y'all go subscribe. He's right. I gained some weight. So you know what I did? I lost the weight. Like in 30 days, I lost the weight, man. You know what I mean? Like, so the accountability is extremely high on my end, you know, and you look at people now, they don't hold themselves accountable. Fat blobs, and how the hell are you online as a fat? I don't understand how a man can be a fat blob anyway. I'm keeping it a buck. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm not going to argue with you about it, but a man must exude strength, right? You got to control what you can't control. You can't control your height. You can't control if you lose your hair. You can't, but what you can control is the woman you marry, what you look like. Y'all listening to fat blobs, and I think it's disgusting. You must have ability to be presentable. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this. And that was as a result in my I'm watching these NOI guys right now do these interviews, as you guys just heard. Fat blobs. How the hell are you in the NOI and you a fat blob? Louis Farrakhan is a fat blob. How? It don't add up to me. So anyways, as I digress, man. Like, let me end this though. How can you be a leader and be fat? I'm looking at these people describe Louis Farrakhan, and I thought you had this great diet. You don't eat pork. I shouldn't even be talking about that right now, but I'm just saying it from man to man. Like, men that are fat, obese, disgusting looking, don't respect them because they don't respect themselves. I'm looking at it right now, dog. You know what I mean? Anyways, man. Was Elijah Muhammad spying on Malcolm X? Huh. Hell yeah, he was. He took his woman. He took his girlfriend and tried to, Evelyn? He didn't take her because she wasn't with her, but, he just was a nasty old man. Anyways, as I digress about what I'm about to say. Earl Spence, you're on the clock. Al Haymon's plan failed. And if it wasn't for Eddie Hearn, this is the most active Wilder has been. God knows how well. Go look at his box rep. This is the most active he's been in like 5 years, 6 years. Little Steven is a lie, is a fraud. And every PBC fighter will pay. And I don't say this out of, that's where I was at. I don't say this out of like, ha ha, I'm right. I say this out of common sense. Just common sense. That's all. It's not because I want to be right. The data says I'm going to be right. Simple as that. So, it's like, what do the numbers say? That's all. What do the numbers say? All these PBC fighters are going to get knocked out. Yes, they're all going to lose. Who has won? Tell me a PBC fighter with a year layoff that's won. It doesn't happen. And that's all I'm saying, man. I ain't got no hate. I ain't got no malice. I'm just here trying to help you guys understand the reality of it. When you are in a sport, you are in competition with not just your opponent, you're in competition with Father Time. And y'all don't understand this. Because you're 25, 26, you think it's going to last forever. It doesn't. You're going to want to be 46. Lincoln and I were just sitting there. We watched Isaiah Thomas. We watched for the past hour before I came back on here. We watched Isaiah Thomas screen and roll, Steve Nash screen and roll, Mark Price screen and roll. We watched it. Now he's going upstairs to watch a movie with Mom. And I'm going to watch, I'm about to go down this, what they call this, pipe hole. I'm about to go watch some, these interesting titles. Elijah Muhammad spying on Malcolm X. So, anyways, man, y'all go ahead and have a wonderful day. See, I'm not public enemy number one anymore because y'all are seeing it. Because when it starts happening to the people you idolize, I consider Wilder a friend of mine. I never idolized Wilder. I consider him a friend, right? And I would tell him the same thing. Earl Spence is on the clock, though. Y'all send this to Earl. I don't hate Earl. I love Earl. There's a level of endearment I have for her. I would tell him the same thing. You better go fight 2 guys first and get that timing right. You can't just come back at 33, 34. It don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. Like, you got to experience that weight cut. The weight cut builds a dog in you. I'm going to give you guys an example. It's not a fair comparison, yet men will understand. Right? When you meet a girl, the anticipation, right? It builds, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whether it's a 90-day rule, whether it's 6 months, I don't know how long it takes. But that patience, that wait time builds. It builds that dog in you. It builds that euphoric moment, right? That's the same thing in boxing. The weight cut, it builds that dog in you. It builds that euphoric moment of you making weight and you winning that fight and you feeling like you're well prepared. That's all I'm saying, man. Now I'm about to go watch this Conscious Community. I'm watching Sinetta right now. Shit. I'll say it again. I don't know how you can be a leader and be obese. You're not a leader. You're not a leader. You lack self-control. We're thinking about Farrakhan, dog. Anyways, man, y'all go ahead and have a beautiful day. I'm going to do a video on that. How can you be obese and be a leader? It's just disgusting. I don't understand it. You know, at least Elijah Muhammad was lean, you know. So y'all go ahead and have a splendid day. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.